You'll need your ball. If you don't have a ball, you can do most of what we're going to do on a chair. You can also maybe use a rebounder. We're not going to bounce too much because remember, this week we're in 20-minute workouts, so we're just going to do a couple exercises that work on posture and mobility and all the good things. And then if you are on a chair, just omit anything that rolls. Is that fair? Yes. Okay. So we're going to begin seated on the ball, nice and tall, hands on the knees. We're just going to start with some pelvic tilts. So I want you to imagine that you have a wheel on either side of your pelvis, like so, of your hips. And so when that wheel goes backwards, you're going to rock your hips backwards, roll backwards, as if you're rolling down towards your back, but not that far. And when the wheel goes forward, you're going to roll your hips forward. So when the hips roll forward, they close. And when the hips roll backward, they open up. And this is the motion that we're trying to work on just to get a little bit of warmth in our hip flexors and some juice in the joints. So hands on knees, tilt your hips backward, open them up as much as you can, and then roll them forward. We're officially starting, all right? I'm watching myself to make sure we have our full 20 minutes of work, because I could be here for a while. And if you're new to this channel, we are rotating 20-minute weeks, 30-minute weeks, 45-minute weeks, 60-minute weeks to build our endurance over a period of time, and also to build a little bit of our strength and resilience. So there's programming involved on the back end of this. It's not just random classes. Each one has a little bit of a purpose. Let's go 2 more times, rolling back and rolling forward. And I know the backward and forward feels opposite. Sometimes I think about like the hip joint here, and as you rock back, it's like a big, huge cow eyes opening, and as you roll forward, they're closing. So they open the eyes of the hips here, and then close them up. Let's do one more time just to feel that. You might even open your own eyes to wake up your face, and then fold. Yesterday, my son woke up, let's come back to center, and he goes, "Mom, how can I make my face less round?" It was just like, it's just sleep, baby. You're swollen, you're puffy from sleeping. I'm like, just drink some water, you'll be fine. I'm like, oh God, it's starting already. All right, let's start our side-to-side tilt. So we're just gonna roll the ball to the right, putting more weight down into your left hip, and then roll the ball to the left, putting weight down into your left hip. Good, side to side. Excellent, so I hope you're all moving with me today. The intention always is to actually move throughout these classes. You're gonna get so jazzed and inspired by experiencing the movement in your own body. So it's really important that we take the time out to do this work for ourselves. So side to side movement isn't going to be super duper intense and big is the word I'm looking for. The size of the movement isn't usually big, but it can be effective. Let's go one more each side. And then what we're gonna do here is use your hips to make a circle with the ball. So roll back, push over to the right, press the ball back as you fold in the hips, and push the ball over to the left, and then roll forward. So you can hold on to your ball, you can hold on to your legs, but essentially it's almost like your rib cage is just staying still without being too static, and your hips are moving underneath. Yeah. It reminds me of a hula dance in a very, very elementary way. I know those dancers are so amazing with what they can do with their hips, but almost like a hula hoop, like a slow motion hula hoop. That's more accurate, I think. Good. The cold woke my face up. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's like free cryotherapy going outside. Good. All right, let's take these circles in the opposite direction. So forward and to the side. The side's a little tight for me, so if you're feeling the same thing, just be patient with yourself. Do the best you can. I'll tell you what has affected me is the ice. We had a very icy overnight, and the fear factor is there for sure, which doesn't it doesn't make me feel really good. I gotta navigate through it a bit. Ooh, good. All right, how are those hips? They warming up a little bit? Yeah, mine feel good too. Last one, all the way around to the left. We're gonna land in the center. Keep your feet about hip width distance, maybe a little wider than hip width distance, arms by the side. Let's just take a side bend over and just a big stretch out to the side and switch sides. So we're pressing down through the hips to maintain the balance, and we're moving with some level of flow here. Using your hand however you need to on the ball to maintain stability, just getting that spine nice and warm from side to side. Let's go for 3. Good. 2. Yes. And 1. Good. Bring your arms out to a T. Widen your feet just a little more and then rotate your spine to the left and come back to center and rotate over to the right. I said that opposite. Let's do it again. Rotate to the right. You're right. Back to center and your left. So I really got harnessed in on that New Year energy. I came into the studio yesterday, had some things to do. I had some clients in the afternoon, but I had kind of like a free hour and I totally rearranged so many things. I was like repotting plants, which I know you're not supposed to do in the winter, but they needed it. We were driving the other day, we drove by this big, huge emporium. Let's go one more each side. And it said jungle plant outlet or something. You all, I did some damage. Let's come on down. All right, so we're gonna do a little rotation with a lunge. With your ball, also you can do this on the chair. You wanna turn yourself to the side and just take your back foot, what we call on the walk. So essentially that's like tucked toes under. And you want to have your front foot a little bit more forward because the movement we're going to do is to push forward into the front leg to take most of the weight so we can stretch the back hip however much you are able to, and then we're going to come back. All right, so I'm holding my ball for a little bit of stability. You want to think of sending your knees out over your second and third toe. Keep your chest lifted, push your heel back. You may or may not get to straight, especially if your ball is bigger. It's kind of pushing out right now. So I'm trying to hug in my inner thigh on the straightening leg into the ball, opening up that hip, and then pulling it all the way back. I'm just working on a vertical posture for the most, to the best of my ability, I should say. Good. And all the way in. Yeah, for my plant lovers out there, they had 50% off room, which was just like, you know, things that needed a little TLC. I could have brought home like 25 bonsais, but I don't need that kind of responsibility in my life right now. But it was very tempting. I did buy about 9. I bought 9. Let's go 2 more. Reaching forward, press it back. Good, pull it in. That's it. And reach it forward. Now, I want to see if we can take our hands down to the ground. This one's going to be a hard one, so you kind of have to put your weight in your front foot. You have to have your hands down if you want to take them into the inside. The goal is just to try to put your weight into the ball and bend your back knee and then kick it out. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. I feel like maybe one hand on the knee helps a little bit. It's just a little hamstring, inner thigh engager. A little weird, but try. See what you got. It's more of a problem solver than anything else. Let's go 2. I know right now I can feel your expressions from across the world. Last one. Good. Press it back. Climb your way back up onto your leg. We're going to take, if this is your left knee, you're taking your right hand to your left knee. Reach your left hand up. Pretend there's a wall right next to you, and you want to bring that arm all the way back to the back of the ball. If you can reach your leg, you can bring it to the back of your leg. Just take that twist, looking back, finding that lift through the center. Pushing down through your hands to lift up through your spine, especially up and out of your low back. Good. Let's reverse your arm to come forward, turn to face front, reach that right leg long, keep your left leg bent, and then we're going to take a long stretch. Oh my God, Tracy, you would have just, I mean, I skipped in there. They were not, like they had turtles. Good, come on over. Now with this long leg, flex the foot, rotate towards your leg, hand on the ball, and just either lean over it, or if your flexibility allows, you can reach to the ground. This is the stretch I need today. And be sure, those high-arched friends of mine, we like to just pull our toes back. I want you to really fold from your ankle so you can get a nice calf stretch in there. Yes. Yeah, I skipped in. There were tortoises. They had a huge koi pond, birds. I mean, paradise. Good. All right, let's walk our way back up onto the ball. Take your bent knee in. Give yourself a little inner thigh stretch. How are we doing on time? We're okay. We're okay. We're about at the halfway point. These 20-minuters are really challenging me to get it all in. All right, come up to vertical, rotate, tuck those back toes as best you can, and then again, see how I'm moving my foot a little out beyond my knees so that as I shift my weight, my knee comes towards my second and third toe, and I have some space to press back through my back leg here. So we bend, looking on the stretch in front, we stretch, and we bend. That's it. Good work, everybody. Just staying with it to the best of your ability, finding the comfort zone that allows you to receive the stretch. You know, and everybody's level is going to be a little different. Everybody's ambition in this stretch is going to be a little different. So you just work with what you're feeling is right for you today, and you will be on the right track. Let's do 2 more. Yes. All right, we're going to stay forward on this last one. Take your left hand to your right knee, reach your right arm up, and find your twist back to the ball or back to your leg. Feel that spiral through your spine, feel the lift through your center. Big breath, big reach. Good. Let's recover. We're gonna turn. You're here. We're taking a long side bend over. Yes. Good. Bring it all the way up. Flex your foot, rotate to that leg, and then either down to your knee, down to the ball, or if you can reach down, pull those toes back and breathe. And with my other leg, I'm just kind of actively pressing it open. So there's a little stretch that's happening over there too. Good. Really nice. All right, let's walk our way back up, even though I want to kind of stay there for a long time. Come back in, do one more little inner thigh stretch, press it out. Good. With your feet here, come back to vertical with your spine. Drop your right knee in and just feel this inner thigh hugging into the ball. So ideally, we're facing front and we're internally rotating that right leg. And then we're gonna press the knee open and externally rotate it. Then we're gonna do it the other side. Hands on the ball are fine for balance. Rotate it in. If you just let it drop, it's not going to feel like much of anything, but if you let it drop and push into the ball, then you'll start to feel a little bit more of your inner thigh work. And then open it out. Good. Yes. Well, thank you, Tracy. I like the 1 hour ones too. And I just need to be honest with a couple things. One, I need some shorter classes on the platform to make sure that people have something to try. 2, it's a great challenge for me to get in all that deep knowledge into 20 minutes. 3, it is a good progression for any beginners who are coming in to do a 20-minute workout and then progress it in the following week. And I forget if I'm using letters or numbers. 4, my schedule is getting extremely busy. So to have a little extra time at the beginning of a month is actually a real benefit to me because, as you know, these classes are for free and they don't bring in any revenue except for what you generously offer to me, and I am so grateful to that. So my real job is health coaching and business coaching and programming for corporations. So it takes a little headspace, but I won't give up the YouTube. All right, come on in. So I will be here, but we just have to make very calculated choices about when and where and what, yeah? All right, so hands on the ball. I'd like you to start to march, lifting one knee up and then lower it down, and lift the other knee up and lower it down. But watching another class on the days where there's a 20-minute is absolutely helpful, so I completely appreciate that as well. Yeah, and I agree. When it comes to a workout, I don't really, unless I'm doing something like rowing, which I do a lot at home, I like a 20-minute row and then stretch or Pilates or some kind of lifting. But yeah, beyond that, I don't like a lot of 20-minute workouts if I'm working on building strength. I teach a step class on Monday night, step and strength, and it's an hour long, and it feels like it's 6 hours long. It's a hard class. Let's do one more. All right, so here's your progression. You've lifted your knees. Your second progression is to lift and try to extend, bend, and lower down. Other side. Fold in your hip, stay lifted. So we haven't done any crunches yet. We're gonna get to a couple planks, but this ability to keep your spine tall as you move your legs independently side to side, it's core work, it's balance work, it's posture work. Yes. Good. Thank you, Tracy. I appreciate you too. One of the things that makes me a good coach, quite honestly, is my ability to be realistic about what I can and can't do. And that, my friends, was not always the case. I used to just do everything, and I dabble in doing everything a lot, and I have to reel myself in. So this was my little answer to meeting some needs, and I appreciate your willingness to go along with me. All right, here's the last one. So now we're gonna take this right leg, lift the knee up, take it out, step it down, lift the knee up, take it in, step it down. Use your hands for balance. Then left, lift it up, take it out, step it down, lift it up, and good. My ball just bucked. Oh yeah, bucked me off. Oh yeah, it will do that. They have a mind of their own. You know, if you have one of the Bala power rings, the weighted rings that we've used in the past, that actually serves as kind of a really good balancer that you can just put the ball on. Sometimes you can actually take some tubing too and just create a circle, and the ball has a little bit of a boundary. Or I've also seen people use the risers for your step from step aerobics and put the ball in there. You just have to be careful, because if you move too far to the side, it's going to be kind of a more drastic roll. Let's do one more each side than the other, than if you're on a tube or in a ring. Yeah? Okay, excellent. How are those hips feeling? Pretty good. Let's take a couple bounces on the ball. Just let it shake out. We're gonna come down onto our knees for our little plankish workout and a little stretch. So please gather what you need to cushion your knees. We're gonna bring the ball forward and start by just taking your hands onto the ball, hinge at your hips, and sit way back. Just get a nice long stretch in your back. Reach. You can actually roll the ball over to the right and press your rib cage to the left. And then you can do it the other way. Coming back to center. Stand up on those knees. Second time through, take your elbows to the ball and then shift your weight down. So your hips are reaching back, your chest is reaching through your shoulders. You can actually kind of walk the ball out a little more if you want a little more stretch. And if this isn't happening for you, just go back to the long arms, no problem. So we're gonna be here for a moment just to work with the upper back. From here, press your elbows into the ball and just round your upper back like you have a tortoise shell on your upper back as much as you can, which may or may not be too much roundedness. You can see it's just a little here. In opposition, after you've rounded, you're gonna work your chest through your shoulders down. Now, you could very easily move your pelvis to make this happen, but see if you can make it happen from the upper back. So your shoulder blades move apart, you round that upper back, big stretch, and then you let your chest reach through to the ground. And breathe for sure. And round. Yes. Good. One more time, breathe. Round it up. This is a really good exercise for posture for sure. Oh, I just see Christina popping in. Welcome, welcome. All right, curl up through your spine. Roll those shoulders out. So we're gonna take our hands in a little kind of prayer position. Feel your body in one long line, legs come together if you can, and then we're gonna send the ball out. Press your hips towards it. Keep your body in one long line. Your goal is to come down into a long plank like so, and then feel your underarms engage as you pull the ball back into you. You kind of chop your hands down and push yourself back up. It's a little bit of a push-up. And if you need to fold in your hips to make it happen to get back up, go for it. All right, so we send it forward. Good. We reach nice and long. We chop it down and come back up. I know, it's a little shoulder as well. Send it forward. Reach and chop it down. Oh, she snuck into the last 10 minutes. It's a good last 10 minutes. You'll like the hip stretches at the beginning though, Christina, for sure. Push. Excellent. We're gonna do 2 more like this, okay? Really nice. One more time. Send it forward. Reach it down. Chop it and come all the way up. Good, shake it out. All right, my friends, we're just about at the end. Oh my goodness, our last exercise for today is gonna be a plank. Let's stand up. Let's find the ball forward. You can take your hands, I like to take them wide on either side, so I'm not right on top, but I've got a little bit more steering power here. So find your hands and first just press into the ball. Next, you're gonna take one leg back. This might be your plank today. Adjust where you feel like you need to be to hold that plank. Again, one leg back might be it. If you're ready to rock, take the second leg back and breathe. Embrace the wobble. Find your connection to your breath, your center. Yeah, it's definitely a lot of proprioception here for sure. Where am I? Good. Let's take one leg forward and then take the other leg forward. Round your spine a bit. Let's go through one more plank, okay? Reach it. Find your position. Take one leg back. Do the opposite if you just did a one-legged plank last time. If you're ready, push into the ball. Feel your back nice and wide and take the other leg back. Feel your chest reach over the front of the ball. We want to feel like we're in a long position. Long necks, long spine, long side of the torso. We're here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Take it forward, roll all the way up. All right. So, because we're warming the hips and because we're playing with the ball, I'm going to give you a homework assignment. All right? If you choose to play around in the ball a little bit more, then one of the most fun things you can do is put your knees on with your hands. Push equally through, whoops, slippy pants. Push equally through the knees and the hands, and then see if you can come up and balance like a little baby elephant on top of a ball. And it's a lot of shifts and turns. Now, if I'm making this look easy, it's because I've been doing it for years. It's my party trick. It's my specialty deal. But this is something that, you know, it's good for your hips. You're gonna negotiate. You might try to prioritize falling backwards, yeah, not forwards. You get really good at it. You can find a little balance through the knees. This is just showing you where it can go, but no need to go there today. So that's your homework. Just play around with balancing on hands and knees with the ball, and let's see where it brings us, yeah? All right, my friends, here's our little touch point for today. If you are journaling along with me, that's not what you want. This is what you want. Why did the movement matter to my body today? How am I using it as a means of support? What can I do to support it? And yeah, what comes next? What's the next step for me? Perhaps it is another class on YouTube. We're closing in on the 150 mark right now, so there are quite a few of them that are longer. Might I suggest either a Pilates or maybe a lifting class? Look for some of those resistance training, support your systems ones to just amp it up a little bit. We'll be back tomorrow with a recovery class in the morning, and we'll be working on all things mobility. So I look forward to joining you again. Remember, next week we're bumping it up 10 minutes to 30-minute classes. I cannot wait to move with you. I hope you feel the same way. And thank you so much for being here. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for my spices. Thank you for your energy. I hope you're feeling good. All right. See you soon.